What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Friday morning edition of the PrizePicks Prop Show here at FTNFantasy.com. My name is Zach Graham, aka Kawaisenberg DFS, filling in for the great Alex Blickel this morning, ready to jump into tonight's MLB slate. Got two games in the W to talk through as well. Should be a fun one. Apologies in advance for any of the sound that is going on around me being picked up by the microphone here. We've got a roof being repaired this way on this wall, and on this side, we've got a lawn being mowed across the street. So it is loud down here in Central Texas, but we press on. While you're here, good to see our buddy Hugo in the chat. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on X, on Twitter, head over to the YouTube, hit that like button for us. It helps us grow the show. And I appreciate you if you're tuning in, watching live or on the replay. Because of this environment that I'm in, we're going to try to push through this fairly quickly this morning. And of course, any further picks we have throughout the day, you can find in that Pick'em Games channel of the FTN Fantasy Discord. I know that the great Chris Meany dropped some of his favorite Game 6 props for the Stanley Cup Final here tonight. That is already in the channel from yesterday evening. So if you are a subscriber here at FTN, make sure you check those out as well. So let's jump into the MLB side here this morning. I see our buddy Skyline in the Discord saying that he's got a protected play in there this morning. Yeah, it looks like I see that on PrizePicks, the after party protected play is $25. Win or your cash back up to $25. So you got to go over to that promos tab and opt in. And that's, of course, if you've already signed up at PrizePicks. If you have not signed up yet at PrizePicks, you head over there, you sign up using the promo code FTN, and that will get you a 100% deposit match bonus up to $100 when you sign up at PrizePicks. You can also download the Sleeper app, use that same promo code FTN, and you get the same deposit match bonus, 100% up to $100 over at Sleeper. And then last but not least, our friends at Underdog Fantasy, you use that same promo code FTN. That will get you a 50% deposit match bonus, but that's up to $250 with Underdog right now. And new customers with Underdog Fantasy right now getting a special discounted pick. Again, with that promo code FTN, you get the discounted pick, you get the 50% deposit match bonus up to $250. And then you head over to FTN Fantasy and check out the MLB PrizePicks tool. Again, hitting the tool between NBA, between MLB, and then the noggin models, with Alex on PGA, myself in the WNBA, just a hair over 60% at the moment. And Hugo might as well just be the co-host here, right? All right, let's jump in to some of these plays here from the model. And there's one that stands out here among the handful that we have that are rated 3-star props or a 3-star advantage here in the tool. The first is Dakota Hudson on the bump tonight for Colorado. We are in Coors tonight, so we've got, I believe, an implied run total of 11 here. Yeah, and Rockies slight home dogs here hosting the Nationals. Hers on the bump for the Nats. But Hudson, and I do think this is running a little bit hot in the projections. 14.69, very nice, outs is what the FTN model has right now, which gives you a win percentage in the tool of almost 86%. Again, I think that is high, but I also think it is a strong prop. Nonetheless, Hudson having to go 6 innings here tonight in Coors. I like the less than selection, even if I'm not as high on it as the model, as the tool is right here. So Dakota Hudson, less than 17.5 outs. And then this prop, also something that I don't feel great about because George Kirby has been more than fine, but with the FTN model projecting him a touch under 33 pitcher fantasy score here, we're going to take the less than selection on his line of 37 fantasy score, and you slot that in there. You can see that the tool giving this 2-pick a nice 56% chance of picking up the win, but we don't stop at the 2 picks here. We're going to pick up a little bit of correlation in this Cincinnati and Boston matchup on one side. We've got Cutter Crawford, and the tool likes a more than selection on his pitcher fantasy score prop of 28.5. You can see that the model has him about 32.5 fantasy score here tonight. And then on the other side, you've got Andrew Abbott on the hill for the Reds. And the tool also likes Abbott and a more than selection on his outs prop, which is set at 15.5. Model has him close to 17 outs here on Friday night. And if you look at the tool, that is where we were picking up a 1.1% correlation bonus in the MLB PrizePicks tool here at FTN Fantasy, and power play expected value of plus 163.1%. Again, I think that is slightly inflated because I don't think the Dakota Hudson prop is 86% to hit, but it is strong nonetheless. So 4 picks there from the MLB side of things. Again, as I said, pairing that Crawford prop with Andrew Abbott more than 15.5 outs. So there's our 4 MLB picks here for this morning. And now let's talk WNBA, because 2 games in the W here tonight. Tipping off 7:30 p.m. Eastern. You've got the Dream and the Fever. Fever 3-point road favorites here against Atlanta. No Howard for Atlanta, so obviously that is a big loss. And of course, PrizePicks ahead of us on Alicia Gray numbers, the books ahead of us on that, as you would expect. But I do want to stick in this game for a moment and go back to somebody that has done us well of late, and that is Nalissa Smith, and taking a more than selection on her fantasy score prop of 26 here tonight. We talked about Smith during the last stream. I think Wednesday is the last time I was on here, so my thoughts really haven't changed. We're taking this at a half point higher than we saw her line on Wednesday. And again, we want to target these Fever players, the studs, right? Your Caitlin Clarks, your Nalissa Smiths, Aaliyah Boston, right? Can't leave her out in these games where the Fever are favored or expected to be competitive, because they are still a below average team in this league. But Smith, ever since, she was benched for like 2.5 games there out of the starting lineup. And since she has come back, she has been over this number, I believe, in 6 of the 9 games since then. And 2 of those that she was under on, she played less than 20 minutes. Again, in a game with a 3-point spread in favor of the visiting Fever here. I'm a big fan of Nalissa Smith. And if you want to get in on some of that Caitlin Clark action, 35.5, I would lean to the over there here, but more than 26 on Nalissa Smith's fantasy score. That's where I'm going here to start our WNBA talk. And then the nightcap here tonight, good one out there in Vegas. Aces hosting the Sun. Chelsea Gray is back, played in that bench role on Wednesday. And Aces 5.5 point home favorites here, 165.5 implied total for what that is worth. And I have some thoughts on the Aces, but I don't have any picks quite yet. I know they just popped a couple of those combos, right? Points, assists, rebounds, 3-pointers made. So I'll take a look at those and put any updates I have into the Pick'em Games channel here in the FTN Discord. But I do want to talk about Alyssa Thomas. Alyssa Thomas and her fantasy score prop of 39. We're going to take a more than selection here. And this is really a game script pick here for me. Obviously, AT, a fantastic player, a fantastic fantasy asset because of the minutes she plays in competitive games, because of how she contributes across the box score. And what I looked at here this morning is, again, this is a Connecticut team that has just 1 loss on the year. Again, just 5.5 point road dogs here against the defending champions. But when you look at this team, of course, a team that only has 1 loss about a month and a half into the season, going to have some blowout wins in there. So if we just narrow it down to the 8 games that they have won or lost by a single-digit margin, okay? 8 games of that here. Alyssa Thomas is over this number in 6 of those 8. 1, she lost time in a game that was a blowout that got a lot closer near the end there in garbage time. And then, excuse me, no. I'm mistaken about that. That was the game above this sample size. Here's the 2 games where she has not gone more than this number. One against the Liberty, and I get that, right? Liberty, probably the best team in the league at the moment, despite the Suns' stellar record here. Still played 40 minutes in that one. 32.9 PrizePicks fantasy score points in that one. I'm going to give her a mulligan for not getting there against one of the best teams. And I guess you could use that same argument against me here, going up against the Aces tonight, right? One of the other juggernauts in this league. But the 40 minutes, again, is something you like to see. We saw that a ton last year when Brianna Jones was out with her Achilles injury. Less so this year. But again, a lot of that is because this Sun team is so darn good. The other time that she did not go more than this number in those single-digit margin games was against Chicago back on the 25th of May, and she got ejected at the beginning of the third quarter in that game. She was already on 22.5 fantasy score points in her 23 minutes. So again, here tonight, I am a big fan of Thomas more than 39 fantasy score in this game that is projected to be extremely competitive. I think we get 35 plus minutes out of Thomas here tonight. And we know she can absolutely blow this number out of the water, picking up a ton of stocks along the way. This is a player, again, who has been the runner-up to the Defensive Player of the Year race to A'ja Wilson on the other side the last 2 years, second in MVP voting last year, first team all-league, right? Alyssa Thomas. I also think the Brianna Jones fantasy score prop, which is set at 24.5, I also like a more than selection there, but if I have to choose between the two, and that's what I'm doing here on the stream today, give me Thomas instead of Jones, and a more than selection on her fantasy score prop of 39. So that does it for my 6 picks here this morning. Again, if you don't have access to that fantasy or the FTN Fantasy Discord yet because you're not a subscriber, you can come over here and join us. It's about $40 if you're going on the monthly subscription for access to everything here. But if you sign up for the VIP Plus subscription, that's $299.99 for the year. So about $25 a month. And again, that gets you access to everything we have here under the FTN Fantasy umbrella, your season long, your sports betting, your daily fantasy, access to all of our projection models, advanced statistics, all 3 Discord servers, including that Pick'em Games channel. So come on over here and join us at FTN if you have not yet. And just real quick on our way out, running through the 6 picks we talked about here on stream from the MLB side here tonight. Dakota Hudson, less than 17.5 outs there in Coors. George Kirby, less than 37 fantasy score. Cutter Crawford, more than 28.5 fantasy score. Andrew Abbott, more than 15.5 outs, getting a little bit of a correlation bonus in the tool from those last 2. And then on the WNBA side, Alyssa Smith, more than 26 fantasy score. Alyssa Thomas, more than 39 fantasy score. I appreciate you guys tuning in, sticking with me, whether you caught it live or on the replay. One more reminder on your way out, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on this video. It helps us grow things here at FTN and grow the prop stream as well. You should see Alex, same time, same place here tomorrow. And then I'll be back on Monday for another edition of the PrizePicks Prop Show here at FTNFantasy.com. Good luck tonight, everybody.